Hello, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Dan McManus. I'm the CEO of Evasys, and look at that, last minute entry. Mickey, welcome to the webinar. You made it. Is your audio working?
I made it. Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so today's webinar is all about ASP, average selling price. We are Evasys. We have been in business 24 years. Lou is our cloud product. Mickey's company, Pleasure Pools and Spas out of Davenport, Iowa, has been on Lou for years. And we're very lucky to have him at today's webinar where we're going to talk things through. So, Mickey, how are things at the store today?
It's cold and rainy, so not too busy.
Not too busy. Spring is coming soon.
Spring is coming.
Excellent. So just a couple things. I guess I wanted to thank a few people that are behind the scenes making this webinar magic work. Michael Sloan and Nick Bootsy, thank you so much for just driving the webinar and making us look so good. The way today's webinar is going to work is we're going to roll through. Mickey and I pre-recorded today's webinar about a week ago, and it goes for about 15 minutes, but we're standing by ready for your questions. So just pop them into the chat and we'll pick up your questions and roll through a bunch of those after the recording. The one other thing I wanted to say before we jump in is, today's webinar topic is ASP and how to basically increase your average ticket. And one thing we all know, right, is that no one wants to be sold to. They typically have a problem. They're looking for a solution to that problem. And I think what you're going to see in today's webinar is it's all about solving that problem and providing a good solution that, oh, by the way, also increases your average ticket. So when we do these webinars, we try to get rid of all the fluff and just give you, the dealers in the pool and spa industry, something that you can pick up and use and put to work and drive that average ticket higher. So hope you get a lot of value out of this webinar. Mickey, anything you want to say before we jump into the recording? No? All right, let's go. So again, questions go in the chat box. Let's roll tape. Hey everyone, Dan McManus, CEO of Evasys here in Vancouver, Washington. Thank you so much for joining today's webinar. We're really lucky to have Mickey Wahl from Pleasure Pools and Spas in Davenport, Iowa. His business is active on Lou and has been for years, and we're going to be talking about retail and increasing ASP and some best practices along the way. So, Mickey, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem.
Awesome.
No problem at all.
Let's talk about you. Let's talk about your business. What's going on at Pleasure Pools and Spas?
Yeah, so me, my dad, and my brother own it. My grandpa started it in 1979, and we've been growing pretty steadily since then. So we do pools, hot tubs, saunas, some billiard tables, patio furniture, and then a service department as well.
Awesome. And how long have you been live on Lou?
I think it's 6 years. I think we're on our 6th year.
Yeah, awesome. Can you talk for a second about just what you've seen over time? We do releases every 2 weeks.
I'm going to say releases happen almost every time I open my computer. There's something new coming out, which I love. And really, it's just, you guys have added a lot of integrations, looks a lot cleaner. Every time there's an update, there's a reason for it. So I got to read the patch notes, and you're basically just making it easier or taking a step out when we would normally take 3 clicks. Now it's 2, or it seems like you guys really take consumer feedback and apply it, which is nice. Lots of click reducers, lots of new products. There's always something new and exciting.
Yep. I'm going to keep the hits coming too, with releases every 2 weeks. So lots more to come. Cool. Let's talk a little bit more about your business. And we had an interesting conversation the other day as we were preparing for this webinar, and you were saying you were dropping some product lines, adding some new products. What's that all about? Yeah, so we're limiting our billiards selection a little bit, and we're increasing more room for patio and more room for saunas. It's just trends. My dad always loves pool tables, so it was a hard pill to swallow, but yeah, we're just increasing showroom space for more saunas. And you guys added retail space a year or so ago, didn't you? Yeah. So we got 20,000 or 27,000 square foot showroom right now. So it's a big showroom.
and we got about that same in warehouse. We added on a little bit more of a hot tub room, and that went pretty well. It's done now.
That's great. Do you guys ever get into like measuring revenue per square foot?
We're not that fancy. Should we? Yes. It's more on feel, I would say. I don't know. You guys have never met my brother, but he's our nerd. So he probably does, but I do not.
Yeah. Well, the trends are clear. More hot tubs, more saunas, type of thing. So that's awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit more about increasing ASP, average selling price.
Yeah.
So one of the ways that we help you do that is with a feature called dynamic kits in lieu. I'm really proud of this one. We had this in the Evisys Legacy product. We improved it and made it even better in lieu. It's a sequence of step-by-step questions that lets you do upsells and make sure you don't forget about important things along the way. So could you walk us through that?
Yeah, so when you asked me how does lieu help increase the average sale price, I had to think of like how we did it before and how we do it now. And I think the dynamic kits was the most important thing, just because we as a team can set up the kits however we want, and we do it like we have a kit for hot tubs, kit for pools, kit for saunas, pretty much a kit for every big ticket item. It's like, this is a hot tub. When somebody sells a hot tub, they put the hot tub in. It typically has the price, with what we got going on. And then we can change the kits based on whatever sale we're doing. So like I have an essential package for hot tubs, and that's our kit. So when you get somebody kind of sold on a product, you'd love to, but sometimes you can't go over all the features before they say yes. So when you're doing the contract, it's really nice to be able to have other options. So like we have all the step options. And you go over, and this is when you start getting into, potential add-ons. So it at least makes the salesman think about it. And if they haven't talked to the customer about it, at least present it. Because even just talking about it, if you mention each feature when you're in the selling process, you have a higher chance of selling it. So you go through, you can pick these different add-ons throughout the whole thing. So yes, this customer got it. No, it didn't. Yes, this customer did. But even if I didn't talk to this customer about this, at least this is a reminder like, hey, I know we decided on this hot tub. Can I show you something else cool real quick? It could be a 2-minute conversation, but if the customer doesn't know about it, they're not going to buy it.
Very cool. And are you typically having this conversation at a sales desk, or where does it actually occur?
Yeah, so we have our showroom, so we take them around, and then once we've kind of settled in on a hot tub or a pool, we have a sales desk where we take them and do the paperwork. Another thing I really like about the dynamic kits is this is one that if you have salesmen like me who's not particularly good at paperwork, it's not even a question, but this is just basically my brother telling me, slow down, look at your paperwork, make sure you actually did everything right, and then continue. So that's nice in kits too. Goes right to the order.
And then how much are you using? There's some nice features off to the right there that allow you to, let's say, discount a line item. Or
yeah, all the time. Almost on every sale. You can go in here, you can select a serial number, edit the price, show discounts. This is actually where we put the hot tub color and color options. Save it to the order. Notes to display to customers, internal notes. They schedule it right from here. It's got all the customer information, status of the order. I mean, everything pretty much happens on this screen. Take the deposit.
Awesome. Well, that was great. And quick and easy demonstration. One of the things that we included in that is you can actually see the inventory availability at each step along the way. So you're never wondering, but is it actually in stock? So I think that showed really well. Awesome. Okay. So that's bundling, use of dynamic kits for the spa, for the hot tub. Any other products that you're using dynamic kits for?
I mean, I have a kit for pools.
Yeah, let's get into that.
One.
It's your pool packages.
My pool packages, so I have 2 packages. One's called the gold package, one's called the platinum package. It's an upgraded kit, but how we have it set up in our showroom, pretty much everybody buys the upgraded kit. So I can go in here. This is really nice because you can just You have all the different liners and patterns you can put in there. Makes it really easy. Make sure you're clicking the right one. I can't tell you how many times before we had Lou that the installers were calling me in the morning like, hey, you didn't write down a pattern. And I didn't remember on a pool I sold 4 weeks ago what pattern they chose. So this is very nice.
Now, Mickey, why do most people buy the upgraded package?
I think it's how we have it presented in our showroom, and I have them kind of side by side, all the equipment, and we really hammer in on, like, when we made the package, it was, okay, here's everything you need for a pool. Here's everything that we as pool users would put on ours. And we just show them side by side the equipment and compare them. And we have a really high sell-through on that package.
Scream value when you have
it is it's nicer stuff, it's bigger filters, bigger ladder, nicer plumbing, some different covers. It does. Like I said, we're at like 90% are buying that upgraded package over the last, we've been doing it like 6 or 7 years.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Now, how much does that increase your ASP or your average ticket?
The upgraded package is $700 on every pool. You know, it's adding $700 pretty much at least.
Great. It's great. What a great way to use the system, and what a great technique. Excellent. So many uses of kits. You can get as creative as you want to. You can have optional questions, required questions. Just a lot of flexibility within the system. Cool. Let's talk for a minute about point of sale. Point of sale is for quick and easy transactions at the register. What are some of your favorites about point of sale?
I love the quick SKUs, because before our old system, we had sheets and sheets of QR code or barcodes that we made that we'd have to scan for common items like chlorine tablets, liquid chlorine, salt, sand, stuff that people aren't necessarily bringing up to the counter to ring out. And in the summer, when it's crazy busy, you know, those sheets can get lost, they get dirty, it's not efficient. Where now, you know, pretty much anybody can go up there and click on the screen a couple times and it's there. You wouldn't think it, but it actually does save a lot of time. Increases the rate at which customers can check out as well.
Absolutely. We built it for speed. Lou point of sale includes the quick SKUs, like Mickey mentioned, split pay. I mean,
Split pay is awesome. Yeah, you'd be shocked at how many, like, when they introduced that, I didn't think about how many people would use it, but it's way more than you'd think.
Interesting. Really interesting. I'm glad it's working for you. So what's next for Pleasure Pools and Spas?
We're hoping to crush 2026. You know, every year it's just grow. How can we do 10 more pools, 10 more hot tubs? Every year we just look at the last year and try to increase it. We've talked about opening other stores. We've talked about, you know, we just added 2 more salespeople. So we have the most salespeople we've ever had on a team now. We're always adding service techs. So I have the most amount of people in our service department than we've ever had, hopefully to increase business.
Awesome. I hope it's wildly successful for you. One of the ways that we're hoping to help you this year is with the new Lou Service app and get you guys moving on that. And the other way we're hoping to help you a little bit later this year is with our e-commerce solution.
Yes.
Our playful name is Lou Commerce, so it's not WooCommerce, it's Lou Commerce, and it's part of the Lou ecosystem. It makes a ton of sense, right? Because
it looks awesome. I did the webinar. It looks amazing.
Yeah, can't wait to help you with that. And, you know, it's real-time inventory displayed on the website. An order comes in, bang, it's over there, and you can see it on Lou Web in relative real time. So you're going to love it. And one of the things that I'm most excited about is true integration. So one of the things that we're going to be talking more about is customer walks out of the store with a receipt. Well, why not put your e-commerce address right there on the receipt and drive someone back for additional purchases? Tied into service, we also have digital door hangers. Same thing. You can put the web address right there, put an offer if you want to drive additional sales. So that's how we are building it. And it's really, like you said, you want to crush 2026, building it to help you do exactly that this year and years to come.
Yeah, that'd be a great way to increase growth.
Cool. Can't wait. Well, any parting thoughts here on Mickey in terms of things that'll help pool and spa dealers around the country?
I cannot believe how much more efficient we've gotten with using Evisys, the team, Lou. Like if you look at us, we talk about it all the time. If you look at our store 10 years ago versus now, it's 10,000% more efficient. And most of that is because of everything that we use with Lou. So we appreciate you guys. Made our days much easier. And if anybody has any questions or wants to see anything, they can get in contact with me too.
Appreciate that, Mickey. You've been so great to us, and 10,000% improvement.
It is the efficiency aspect alone, going from paper, handwritten contracts, handwritten everything, to digital. Just the amount of mistakes that are not there anymore is insane.
Well, we'll keep the releases coming. And if anyone has questions about Lou and how to find out more, you can go to evisys.com/Lou or just email us at lou@evisys.com. Thanks so much. And now we're going to move right into Q&A, question and answer session. And we are back. That was awesome, Mickey. Thanks again. Excellent. Okay, so we do have some questions rolling in, and I'm going to throw some your way and I'll take others, Mickey. So actually a couple of them I see coming in are about pricing. So that was fantastic how you showed the kit for the different pool programs. And one of the things that I'm curious about is how do you think about pricing, and are you basically working on pricing to establish margin based on markup, or when you're establishing the price of your kits, how are you thinking about pricing?
A lot of times it's margin. You know, we have certain points we want to hit. What's in the kit. So we change the kit every couple of years. You know, we change all the kits every couple of years. We just ask the salespeople kind of what they're seeing. We ask customers, like, what about your pool, other than your pool, do you love or wouldn't get a pool without? And then we just bundle all those things. You know, we could ask 10 people and take the top 3 from each and figure out kind of what the retail is and what the margin we want to be at is, and build a kit.
Very cool. One of the things you touched on in that recording was the salespeople that you are bringing on. So congratulations on hiring additional staff. Sounds like you guys are growing nicely. What about salesperson training when it comes to whether it's using Lou or using the kits? I mean, what's your training look like for those new sales staff?
Honestly, training them on Lou was pretty easy. It's pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. Especially with the kits, you know, you put your pool, you put your kit, and just answer the questions. Training on the product knowledge is kind of the hardest part, but you know, we're sending them off to, you know, like Watkins does trainings. We do role playing and everything here in the store, but we haven't hired a whole lot of new salespeople, so this is kind of our first one in a while, and they seem to be picking up pretty quick. So,
good deal. I'm glad it's so easy for you. Hopefully you're using the Lou Support Center as well. It's just lousupport.evisys.com. There's a chat bot now, and just hundreds of articles with questions that the team can use at any time.
Yeah, I was on it 10 minutes before this started, so.
Very cool. All right, here's a curveball, Mickey. It says, what should you do when the customer does not want to do the repair because it's too expensive, even with the consumer financing options available to them?
For us, it really just depends on what that repair is. You know, we have a lot of different kinds, and then the time of year. So if it's somebody that isn't a customer and needs us on Memorial Day weekend, I'd probably be not as inclined to help them as if it was a customer, you know, in August that I can look up and see that they get all their chemicals from us, or we've serviced them in the past. So I'd say it's case by case. You know, hopefully you have margin in there where if you do have to take a little bit less margin to get another job and not cost something else, you'd at least look at it.
Makes sense. Let's talk for a second about, I'm trying to aggregate some of these questions coming in. In summary, some of them are about customer communication, customer portal. I'm trying to remember, how extensively are you guys using customer portal in Lou?
We use it all the time. So our techs do the job, they make the order, and then our service manager every day or throughout the day does the review and invoice, runs the customer's card, and then sends them a link to the portal so they can see kind of everything that we did, their balance or their invoice, hopefully zero balance. Sometimes they do have to make a payment on the portal, but pretty much every call gets a link to the portal.
Very cool. Yeah, customer portal is included with every single customer profile. And Mickey just touched on a really important feature called review and invoice. The way I think about it is it's a checkpoint where Mickey's team has finished the job, and he basically has this beautiful checkpoint where he can say, okay, has the customer received a text or email communication? Have they made a payment? Oh, looks like we didn't take the payment for that one. No problem. Let's go ahead and text the customer now. Send them to the customer portal where payment is accepted. So really empowers companies like Mickey's to just, have that customer communication. And it's a great feature. So review and invoice is that feature if you haven't heard about it.
It'll save your service managers a lot of time.
Very nice. Anything else rolling in? I do see some questions about the service app. Mickey referred to that in the recording. The service app is sort of an upgrade. It's a new and improved version of, previously the mobile app was called Lou Schedule. Now it's called the Lou Service app. And so it's great. And if you want more information, as obviously some of the folks attending today's webinar do, just email us at lou@ephesus.com and the team member will reach out. And we also now have an enablement team that is there just to train your team and make sure your team's comfortable with that app before the spring season. So lou@ephesus.com. All right. I think that's it for today, Mickey. Good luck, everyone. Good luck, Mickey. Let's crush the year. Thanks for attending today's webinar, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye.